What's up, everybody? I'm Bathsheba coming back at you guys again. I wanted to share this poem that I shared with some women back in March to help empower other women. And the reason that I'm coming across this poem again is because a good friend of mine said that I should probably review some of my own poetry to help me get through a difficult time. So that's what I'm doing, and I wanted to share it with you. It's entitled Woman, Thou Art Well. Constantly hidden in the shadows, she unravels and unleashes her power through time travels and battles the gavels that would be used to impress judgment upon her people. She is an infinite balanced equation that equals the pages of life that fade into mothering palms of her sensitivity. Her energy comes across as a toss up between nurture and virtue, mixed with sensuality so strong and potent it could possibly hurt you. That's why Eden was egregious when that serpent demon approached her first, because he knew the power of birth and how intense it would hurt if she could not maintain her position as the most important witness to that which would be encaged in the cage in which she was made, because she was meant to protect every organ and asset of God's kingdom. See, many miss the message that the ribbon in essence covers all the internal organs, ensures proper storage, and most importantly, heart encapsulation. So the serpent figured if he could pull the plug on respiration, he stopped the regeneration of God's love. But nothing could cease the circulation of his blood. So the lungs of God's kingdom are still breathing every time a woman is feeding or nursing her baby. The respirator is changing the course of our eternity. See, this insurgency against God's kingdom started with the power and freedom of a woman, but ended in the same summit of her potential. And while she is downplayed and belittled, no one can explain why woman was first in line to see the glory and divine power of Christ in his resurrection, or why woman stands as one of the strongest objects of obsession, objectified, scrutinized, and victimized by those who wrestle to understand what it means to live. Otherwise, they wouldn't stand on the respirator that gives them breath. Those who tear down the woman also embrace death, because through her canal, she channels God's profound words and disturbs the enemy. Because her womb carries all of God's creativity, and unfortunately for the enemy, a litany of threats against his plans. She is an illusion in a world of confusion, offering you influence and a means of escape from an ill fate that could shape your eternity. Her circuitry is hardwired with fire and calming waters. A daughter of the divine's website, call it passion.com. Her essence flowing like calm rivers and anger like the wrath of God. And if you need the two, she reflects his everlasting arms, calm, dot, passion. The spot removed because mercy responds compassion. Defines and intertwines her with the universe. She is a constant rebirth of God's purpose. Oh, woman, where art thou? Are you hiding? Your presence should be inviting, inciting, and exciting hope. Where you tread, there should follow smoke, for you should have ignited a flame that remains in a room that you have entered. I'm speaking to spirits that are assertive and those that are a bit gentler. In either situation, your fragrance should be sweet, your words should fall like feathers, but stay embedded like handprints in wet concrete. Like the unique story of Esther, who saved her kind, stood before a king with unrehearsed lines. Perhaps you have courage like Rahab, who risked everything and took in unknown spies, a strong discernment, a career woman who knows the daily grind, prophetic and visionary like prophetess Deborah. Or you're the woman at the well who received the living water. Or Eunice, a housewife making sure your children learn. Stand up if you're Hannah with a faith beyond words. Perhaps you feel unwanted and know how it feels to be rejected and emotionally damaged like Leah, whose strength was unreal. Are you Bathsheba, a promise that has been molested? Still in the lineage of Jesus with King Solomon as the grace of correction. Mary Magdalene cleansed of all your demons, then pouring out your appreciation with tears and all at the feet of Jesus. If you're 12 years suffering from an issue of blood, grab hold of his hem and feel the power of his love. For woman, you are great even when viewed as the least, empowering empires and holding treasures that release destiny and purpose. You are the resurgence of God's intentions, so be intentional in your health, spiritual life, in all dimensions to move the mountains that create tension between God and man. Teach the generations you will birth, either literally or figuratively, as long as you stand in a position of influence. You are the confluence, carving the vessels he delivers through your actions, impacting factions and detaching strongholds. You hold, in a sense, the potter's clay in your hands. Every time you stand before a man, for your presence is a lesson in and of itself. O woman, thou art wealth. Admonish and make use of your gems. Thank you. Enjoy your day.